Osmoregulation in terrestrial animals. Terrestrial animals have not enough supply of water, so they cope up this situation by the following mechanisms. The first is waterproof external coverings, and the two main coverings are the keratinized epidermis and the cuticle. Keratinized epidermis is present in vertebrates like reptiles and mammals, while the cuticle is present in insects. Keratinized epidermis means that keratin is a waterproof protein and epidermis is the outer layer of the body. So collectively keratinized epidermis means that it is a waterproof protein covering present on the outside of the body. So as a result, water cannot evaporate from the body so easily. Also, cuticle is made up of protein. The second is the storage and the excretion of solid waste. As uric acid is almost insoluble in water, so the reptiles, birds and insects excrete uric acid as nitrogenous waste to prevent the water loss. And also this uric acid is temporarily stored in the cloaca, where further water is reabsorbed before it is removed from the body. The third one is use of metabolic water. Mammals like camels have hump on their back in which fats are stored. So they break their body fat and make use of water by this mechanism. The term metabolic water means that the water is being formed by the metabolism of fats which is present in their bodies. This is the fact that the camels can survive in deserts for a long time without the availability of water in the surroundings. And the fourth is the storing waste. Some mammals do retain urea in their kidneys, which helps in the reabsorption of the water. We have discussed this earlier. We have discussed osmoregulation in terrestrial animals. Now we will discuss osmoregulation in aquatic animals like freshwater protozoa, freshwater fishes, marine water fishes, and osmoconformers. Freshwater protozoa. Freshwater protozoa have solute potential greater than the surrounding environment, so that water comes in constantly by endoosmosis if it is not regulated, and this results in the bursting of the organism. Let's explain this. This is the protozoa, and protozoa have hypertonic body fluids as compared to the environment. So environment is hypotonic. The water constantly comes in, and if this is not regulated by the organism, it will burst the organism. So it is regulated by formation of a vesicles called contractile vacuole. The water constantly comes inside the contractile vacuole, and when the contractile vacuole is filled, it is excreted out of the body through exocytosis. So soluble potential is greater than surrounding environment, so that water comes in constantly, and if it is not regulated, the organism would burst by endoosmosis. The mechanism is that they have one or more membrane bound tiny vesicles called contractile vacuoles. Excess water is stored in these vesicles, and when these vesicles fill completely, they remove out of the cell by exocytosis. The example is amoeba and the paramecium. Osmoregulation in freshwater fishes. If this is a freshwater fish, these fishes have hypertonic body fluids as compared to the environment. So environment is hypotonic. As the environment is hypotonic, so there is danger of the entry of water inside the body and loss of hypertonicity of the cells. So to cope up this situation, these fishes produce very large amount of dilute urine from the body, and during excretion very large amount of dilute urine, some useful ions are also lost. So to absorb these useful ions, they have special glands in their gills from which they actively absorb the selective salts from the environment. Here is the text that they have hypertonic body fluids than the surrounding environment. So environment is hypotonic. There is danger of entry of water and loss of hypertonicity inside the cells. To cope up this situation, there is a mechanism that excess water is removed by passing large quantities of very dilute urine, and some useful ions are also lost in excretion, so they actively absorb the selected ions through their gills. The example is trout. This is a trout, and it is a freshwater fish. It has hypertonic body fluid as compared to the environment, and environment is hypotonic. So the water comes in. As the water comes in, they produce a very large amount of dilute urine from their bodies, and some useful ions are also lost in their excretion, so they are absorbed by their gills. Marine water bony fishes. If this is a marine water bony fish, they have hypotonic body fluids as compared to the environment, so environment is hypertonic. As the environment is hypertonic, there is a danger of the loss of water from their bodies by the phenomena of exoosmosis. To cope up this situation, these fishes drink water all the time, and during drinking, some ions are also absorbed by their bodies. To excrete these ions, these fishes produce small quantities of concentrated urine to make their internal environment hypotonic. Also, their gills have special glands which excrete the absorbed salt out of the body actively. So, in the text, they have a hypotonic body fluids, so the environment is hypertonic. There is a danger of loss of water from the cells by the phenomena of exoosmosis. To cope up this situation, they have a mechanism that they continuously drink water all the time. Excess salt is removed by producing concentrated urine and also excreted by actively through their gills. The example is mackerel. These fishes have hypotonic body fluids. The environment is hypertonic, so they can lose water. To cope up this situation, they continuously drink water, producing concentrated urine in small amounts, and also their gills excrete the absorbed salt during drinking actively out of their bodies. Summarizing them by creating differences in between the two, here is freshwater fish and here is marine water fish. Freshwater fishes have hypertonic body fluids as compared to the environment, while marine water fishes have hypotonic body fluids as compared to the environment. Freshwater fishes producing dilute urine, while marine water fishes producing concentrated urine. Freshwater fishes absorb salts by their gills, while the marine water fishes excrete salt by their gills. The salt excreting cells actually called chloride secretory cells. Also, the filtration rate in freshwater fishes in their kidneys is very high, so they producing dilute urine, while the filtration rate in marine water fishes is very low, so these fishes producing concentrated urine. Marine water cartilaginous fishes have a slightly hypertonic body fluids as compared to the marine water, as they have a high concentration of urea in their bodies, so they do not have a problem of water loss, as water entering in their bodies is excreted through their kidneys. Also, excess salts entering in their bodies is excreted through rectum. Special glands are present in rectum which excrete the salts entering in their bodies. Example is the shark and rays. This is the figure of a ray having slightly hypertonic body fluid as compared to the environment because they store high concentration of urea in their bodies. Osmoconformers, they have isotonic body fluids as compared to the environment. In this way, they do not need osmoregulatory mechanisms. The examples are the marine invertebrates and hagfishes. This concludes the topic of osmoregulation.